Hello everyone, this is Niami Denmother of EQ2 Trader's Corner. I am covering the first portion of the trade skill line for the Rage of Cthurath in this video. The second half will be in less than a week, depending on when I do it, just so that you can see what the other half is after the intentional time gate that is in the middle of the line. The first thing you're going to want to do is grab some formless fuel if you do not have the ability to summon a fuel vendor. I do, but I still want to do it. I believe it's 6 formless coal that you need for the first quest, but since I'm going to be doing several quests, I might as well grab about 50 or so. Well, there's 60, because I fumble-fingered. You will also want either the ability to summon a workbench, or you will want to be able to bring a portable workbench with you. This is for the very first step in the line, because it is in a zone off Antonica, and it will save you several zones if you can just grab it directly instead of having to hop out to Antonica and then hop somewhere else to get the fuel or gate out and come back. Of course, as I'm mentioning, it's Antonica where this quest starts. You will have to be a level 130 crafter, and you can go to either the Wizard Spires or the Ruined Rings to shorten the trip. The NPC is out in a field where the Prelude event happened. Get my bearings, and away we go. Got my pack pony out, so I'm grabbing random bits and pieces, and even got a couple of rare rough coral out of it. Not a huge thing these days, but somebody can use them. Now, as I said, this quest line is for level 130 crafters. There is no prerequisite for it, so you can just hop in and get going without having to do any other of the past quest lines. And here we go. There's those nice cataclysm portals that you saw during the Prelude event. Now, the person you're looking for is Flamebearer Denat. Let me show you on the map. The map is very messy, but it's right over there on the right-hand side. You can see me making it blink out and forth, and there is a violent rift at that point. That is what you are aiming for when you are coming out here. So you talk to him.
Greetings!
He's looking for a skilled crafter to help study the rift. And so you do some more talking, and he's looking specifically for somebody to help stabilize the rift for Lady Najina, or Najina, as the case may be. Come to find out, Najina isn't too thrilled with crafters, but Flamebearer Denat has convinced her that crafters are needed. So you are going to be proving or disproving to Lady Najina that crafters are a valuable resource. So you grab the quest. Because my throat is a little froggy today, I am not reading aloud all of the dialogue. I'm just kind of summarizing. So go to the rift, and I want Garian Arc of Ascension Tradeskill. You will see on mine that it mentions 2 Yongaroths. If you have not done anything in Rage of Cthurath, those will not show up. But I have unlocked them through others on my account, so they show up there. But what you want is the Garian Arc of Ascension Tradeskill. So away we go. We have a portal stabilization device that was given to us, and we are going to see if just that alone is enough to stabilize the portal. We suspect not. Of course it isn't. It's never enough. You're not just going to zone in and be able to plop something down and be done. But you're going to hope. And I am going to wait for the zone. Since these are special individual pocket zones, each time it has to spin up a unique zone, so it takes just a little bit longer. Here is the spot where it needs to be placed. And what I'm going to do before I do much more, call up my quests, and I'm going to hide a few other things. Just so that it isn't so noisy. There we go. That's a little better. So we place the portal device. Talk to Flamebearer Donat.
Well met.
Energies of the area are odd. They're going to need some adjustment. So they're going to need some resonating shards from the area. But, as you will see in a moment, there's a lot of deadly interference in the way. So they're going to have to create a disguise. So as you go over here and you listen to the Paragon of the Overlord, you're going to see lots of beet red. Even if you're level 130 adventurer when you start it, these are going to be red con to you. They will kill you. They are heroics. And for me specifically, I did this as a level 125 adventurer so that you could see exactly what happens with a low-level adventurer. And I will use all of the harvesting hand techniques and everything else so that everybody that's squishy can also see what they have to do. So you have this discarded armor. You get 3 per grab, so you don't have to be there forever. So now you have 6 of them, and you need to craft an Avarice Mechanic Sentinel Illusion. And as I said, you're going to want the ability to summon a workbench, or you're going to have to zone out. And let me find workbench, and I'm being blind. So I will go back and look again. I'm going right over the icon. I know I am. We can see the sun to the workbench right there. So summon the workbench, and it is Avarice. There we go. 5 formless coal for this one. Formless coal is the new expansion fuel. Okay. Now, important tip. Remember to use the illusion. Don't just craft it and run off. I have been there, done that, got flattened for it, so don't do that. You actually use the illusion. I do not have illusions on, but this is making me look like one of the knights in here, and you'll see they no longer have that bolding around them. You can go right past them. They are no longer aggro, they're just out of my level. There's an oddly resonating shard. You need 7 of them. So you just run around the area and grab some. I know they're mostly in this main area, so I'm not even going down the side ones. They are not in specific guaranteed spots. They're randomized, so you may need to do a little bit of scouting, but not much. There will be more than 7 up. They will just disappear the moment you grab the last one needed. So there we go. I've got them all. Now I go back to talk to Flamebearer Donat. I could evac, but there's not much sense in wasting an evac when he's just down here.
Salutations.
And he has worked up a recipe and is giving me the rift stabilization device back. And here's hoping. Rift step. stabilized enough. I'm going to risk it. I am going through the rift. I am going to wander off. Your speed of leveling will be different than mine. I'm already a 131 provisioner. I'm getting told that my mercenary battalion buff is underpowered and all of that, which I expected, because I'm below level. But part of the reason I'm going to be leveling a little bit faster than you might expect is because I have both a 60% veteran bonus because of the number of characters I have on the account that are max level crafters, but I've also got trade skill vitality, which I just ate half of it. And I go down into the Daru village, and here is Flamebearer Donat again.
Well met.
I speak with him. He has no clue where we are. I have no clue where we are. This was supposed to lead us back to Lady Najana. It was just supposed to stabilize the rift for her and go back. And it didn't. It dumped us somewhere else altogether. So, he's going to try to contact Lady Najana while you find one of these goat men, or as they call themselves, the Daru, that actually will talk to you. And here she is, and that's the So you explain that you're confused, and she says that they rerouted them in hopes that they could help. Why? With what? Still confused. So then it gives you some background about them living in Norath originally and having come here through of many trials and tribulations, and they want to go back. And they've been told that some outsider will come and help them. So that's what that's going on. You tell her to hang on, and you want to check with the one that sent you here originally.
Well met.
Explain it to him. And there's some odd magics here that Lady Najana would, of course, like to know more about. So you're not being sent home. You're going to be told, stay here, see what you can do. So you go back to Anetha, since she's the one that's been talking to you, and try to figure out what's going on. So she tells them a little bit about the area and worrying about, you've got to be able to hide from these other dangers in the area, and that's what they've been doing all along. And they need to be able to continue to do that. So you are going to check the village wards to make sure that they are working. And there are 6 of them. And I am going in backwards order just because this is habit for me. There's 2. There's the 3rd. Did that out of order, but that's another one. This one is broken. That's not good. That is reducing the protection that they have. And then the final ward is right there. I'm ignoring this quest feather because that's just a collection NPC, and I've got a collection that's been sitting in my books for a while because I don't play this character much. And then I need to talk to Flamebearer Donat.
Hello.
So you explain about the wards and tell them, more about that. I'm just doing 2 trade skill levels because of all of my veteran bonus and vitality and things like that. Then you're looking for another quest, and Anefa has more for you. I'm going to let you read the dialogue and so forth on your own time when you do the quest. Do the whole storyline for you. So you get more detail from Anefa, who sends you to work with Nankane, who has his doubts about outsiders helping, but is willing to maybe make a rune for you that you can study. Now I'm going to call up the map just so you can see. Up the upper left is the village, and then there are two ways out of it. That way leads to dangerous mobs, the upper path. This lower path leads to an area that is safe except for one spot. Turn just a little so that you see Nankane. That's a heroic, or not heroic, a solo mob, but you really want to be an adventurer plus merc if you're below 135. And since I'm 125, I don't want to wander into that corner by accident. So I will just talk to Nankane and be careful, because I have wandered into that corner during beta and got flattened. Wait. Okay. Tested your patience. Now he wants you to grab some specific weeds for him. And a Goroth stone. You will have about a 1/3 success rate on these. The rest will break off, or insects will have gotten to them, and so forth. I'm looking around the edges for a loose stone like this. It's slightly different color than the other rocks around it, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. 6 and 12. So turn around and wander back this way. They do respawn quickly, which is good because the person might be doing this quest to decline. Alright, now I have enough. And I go back to Nankane. In the weeds. Don't expect him to start eating them, but he's sampling the magical strength of them, and he also likes the taste. So he uses some weeds in the ritual and eats some. You've decided to call the new device Aware. When harvesting, exercise restraint everywhere. So that's going to be your new harvesting hand. So now you go back to Flamebearer Donat again, so that he can examine the rune that Nankane created for you. And he wants to examine it so that he can tell Lady Najna about the magics of it.
Well met.
So he looks at it, gives it back to you, gives you the recipe for the ware. Now, in the Daru village, this one tent has both the fuel merchant and an all-in-one crafting station. So if you don't have the right fuel, you don't have enough fuel, etc., you have it handy right in the same tent. So I'm just going to call it V1. And there's the ware V1 is what I want. That takes 5 formless coal. Bada boom, bada bing. Before I forget, I'm fixing it on my hot bar so that I've got it handy. So there's the ware V1 on my hot bar. Go back to Enefa. Find out that she wants you to go help someone who has been hurt by the evil eyes. And he needs, like, meals and so forth prepared for him. You introduce yourself. Now he can't see. And he can't hunt until his vision finally returns, or fully returns. So, you're going to go harvest for him. You do not want to go out this path unless you have your harvesting hand, which you do. And you know what? I'm going to just hand in this collection just to get it out of the way so that it's not on there anymore. So I am going to go as close to this fence as possible without being in everybody's way, which means right near this guard here. Summoning the hand, and into it I go. I need roots, daikon, garbanzos, and then some fish. And yes, you're going to be harvesting slowly if you use this form. If you're an adventurer, of course, you can zoom around, use all of your harvesting skills and everything else, but you're going to have to fight everything and anything that gets in the way. So you need shrubs, roots, and fish. And I will tell you the fish are a little trek away. Of course, you can harvest other things while you're out here, but if you're trying to just get through the quests as fast as possible, you can leave that for a later time. You need the den, you do need the shrub. As you can see, there's quite a bit of aggro out here, so it's just as good that you don't have to fight through it all in order to get everything you want. Because some things, like these little guys in the background here, the man traps, will suddenly wake up and attack you. And I mean, this is fine for adventurers. And I do have several adventurers that are now 135. But when you're doing somebody who is squishy, you don't want to do that. You want to get through this as quickly and safely as possible. I've got the daikon finished. I need more garbanzos for the shrubs. could go closer to the edges on the other side and find the rest of the shrubs, but I've got to go down further anyway to get my fish. So there is time to grab some more shrubs. There's some there. This is where I am now, and this is where I'm going to go for fishing. There's all of this black rimmed area. There's no way down to the water without being able to fly. Almost done with the garbanzo, but not quite. One more needed. Nope, got it. There we go. Okay. So now all I need is the fish. Water here in this specific area will damage you. Do not step in the water. If you suddenly find yourself taking damage and then your hand disappearing and you get dumped back to your body, it's because you went in the water and it damaged you. People have complained, oh, but I drowned. How can I drown in that? And it's not that you're drowning, it's that you're taking damage from toxic water. Thankfully, the fish seem to be able to filter out the toxins so you're not eating them. You're not eating the toxin. And I am just finishing the fishing to finish the node because that's proper etiquette. And then I am going to attack. And that immediately dumps me back to my body. So now I have to start crafting. And since that's meals, that's going to be kindling. So I'm going to grab about 60 kindling. I know I'll use it for other quests in here too. And please do excuse me when I start tripping lightly over my tongue like that. The fibromyalgia makes it so that I do that. The RA makes it so that I do that, and just me, myself, and I do that anyway, so it can be a little untangling at times. I forget words that I've known for most of my life. Remember odd pieces of trivia that no one would think about. You never know. We have 5 meals to make, so that will be 25 fuel. So it looks like I'm going to need 75 for this. Because there's 3 things of 5 that I need to craft, so 75 for the kindling for this section. So I'll grab a little bit more in a minute. It gives you a little bit more of the history of the Daru, which is part of what you wanted. That's why you were helping. He, is visibility impaired because of a curse. You're trading food for information, basically. So he tells you a bit more, and then says that tale telling is thirsty work. So you go back and you make him the drink. You can see where this is going. again, you will need 5 of them because you're giving him enough to last for a couple days. You don't have to keep coming back here and feeding him. You're helping him get enough stockpiled so he doesn't have to worry before his vision comes back. Here we go. Drinks are set. Tells you a bit more. And then he wants something sweet to clear his palate. Do some delectable Daru dessert. Go. Do the rest of the story. Go back to tell Flamebearer Donat about it.
Hello.
They need to know more information. Of course. But the Daru aren't going to do that until you've proven your worth to them. So, now you are on some tasks for them through the researcher. The researcher is Researcher Furan. It's the Daru Village Tradeskill researcher. And you need to start this research. It'll say 7 days, 1 hour. You need 1 flowfall vine on you to start it. It'll check to see that you got it. Now, this is the thing. Everybody goes, oh, it's going to take us a week. No. Every 3 hours, you can get another quest from him. For the first time through on your account, you get 8 hours of reduction time every time you hand in one of his quests. For those who have another on the account that has already finished the trade skill line, it's 16 hours. So that can cut it down very quickly. Let me get my task from him. And instead of clicking on him, I have to right-click. Ignore that cancel research. Do not touch the cancel research. You lose your timer. Just go to the hail. And then he tells you what's going on for research, gives you whatever the research task is for this time. And then you will have to go harvest, and then come back and craft it. Now, the one thing I want to show you here, though, is if you open up your journal, you have a mission timer. So you type in 4 for Furan, and it will reset in 44 minutes. So I could complete it now, and in 44 more minutes from right now, I could do it again. You really want to watch that research timer. So, because it tells you when it's going to reset, so that you can do some, close to back and so forth. Now, I am going to take the branch that we took the first time, which goes into the safe area. Because it's all roots and shrubs. So that is safe to harvest here as long as you find some that aren't being claimed by somebody else. Which we will manage. There's some roots. I'm so happy to have my harvesting speed back again. Roots are done. Now I need some shrubs. There's the big nasty over there. Just trying to go around the outside here. Another little inlet. See if there are some shrubs there before we get out into the unsafe area. So I'd really rather not use the harvesting hand just to get a couple items. And there we go. It's telling me craft a bowl of Daru delight. So I am done. I am heading back through the safe area to go back into the village. There we go. Of course, I didn't grab extra kindling, and now I need more, so let's just 25 for now. Type properly. So it is only one single craft. It's the Daru Delight this time. Other times we have other items, other resources that need to be brought in. I believe there's 3 different missions that he created for that. So you get a little bit of variety. Again, you right-click and hail. Get your status coin, get a tiny bit of experience, and then you get a research reduction. So now if I look at the research, it's down to 6 days and 9 hours because I just got a 16-hour reduction because I've done this before on others. Now, I could wait around and do the next one. I am not going to video that though. This is the first portion of the Tradeskill signature line that ends while you're doing the dinner time stories to prove your worth to the Daru. And we'll get it so that it's a little more readable. That is this part. I will come back in a few days with the second half of the video. I've got a lot going on this week, so I don't know how many times I'm going to do the research reduction. But I will get this done soon, and I will get the second half of the Tradeskill line out as soon as I can. Thanks a lot for stopping in.